they realize
Yeah.
come to their senses. The amazing new Westport Library in iTunes proudly presents Oh Brother, Not Another Podcast with me, Trace Burrows.
And me, Miggs Burrows. And this, if we pull this off, this is a really special, I don't want to overuse the word, but this really is a special episode. We are going to be interviewing 007 himself, Daniel Craig, the actor, the real actor. This is not an impersonator. This is not a faker. This is not a friend of ours posing. This is Daniel Craig. You're going to say, well, how did you pull that off? Well, it's a long kind of connection, but at Carnegie Institute of Technology Drama Departments, now Carnegie Mellon, I was friends with and dated ever so briefly Paula Kaufman, who later became Paula Wagner because she married scene designer Robin Wagner, and I was studying scene design, but I guess I wasn't good enough. So she married Robin Wagner. She's Paula Wagner, became Tom Cruise. She became the biggest female agent, or probably the biggest agent in Hollywood, and ended up being production partners with Tom Cruise and produced 3 of his Mission Impossible movies. Anyway, I kind of leaned on her, digitally. I kind of
That's gross.
Yeah, that's gross. So I contacted her, emailed her, and asked the big favor. And anyway, she put us in touch with him, and we're just waiting, actually, for him to log in. I mean, this could be a big bust, but okay. No, he's came up. I have to hit admit, right? His name's up in the queue there to be admitted.
I see him, but I don't hear anything.
I see him. Daniel, this is amazing. Hello.
No, still no audio.
He's shaking. Now, Daniel, you have to, I know sometimes, you think because they're big Hollywood stars, they know how to do there's a button, the audio, the microphone button, maybe it's muted. It's on mute. No, he's shaking his head. Well, why don't you ask a quick, can you hear us?
He's shaking his head, yes.
Okay, he can hear us.
Why don't you, we'll ask a question, and if you write the answer on a piece of paper, and then
that's a good idea.
Just repeat it here.
Yeah, until your audio until you get your audio back. So keep trying, but
he's good with that.
Yeah, we don't want you to go away. This is too good.
So, Miggs, you have a question?
Yeah.
We want to tell him how honored we are to have him on our show.
Yeah, extremely honored. I mean, what just look him up on IMDb, International Movie Database. Yeah, incredible resume. Anyway, I'm wondering, I think you've been quoted as saying that that you were never going to do, that after Goldfinger, you were never going to do another Bond movie. Is that true? He's writing.
He's writing. He says he didn't do Goldfinger.
He's shaking his head violently. No.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't you. Okay.
The other guy.
All right.
The other 8 guys.
Maybe it was Dr. No. Is that the one? Because you were. You said no to Dr. No after
He's
No.
Way up the you're talking. You have to go in about 23 films.
Oh, really?
To get to Craig.
I'm sorry. I'm not. I mean, okay. Well, this is an interesting fact, though, and I think this is you'll vouch for me that he was the only Bond actor that wasn't born when the franchise started, and I think he was the only one that was born after Ian Fleming died.
He's shaking his head. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So that is true.
Yeah.
I don't know, Trace. Do you remember?
So I'd like to know, how did you get the part of the first when you did the first movie, 007? How did you get that? Did you have to audition? He's writing a note.
It says, I always wanted to be an actor. I had the arrogance to believe I couldn't be anything else. competition is so important even when you're an artist. And if you deny that there's competition, then you're a liar. That's what gives you your ambition.
Wow.
What?
He's still writing.
Oh.
He's adding another note.
When I first heard I got the role, I was buying dishwashing tablets in Whole Foods. I promptly dropped them and went and bought a bottle of vodka to celebrate.
Oh, okay.
That's a little trivia.
Interesting. So what I also read about you is that you didn't want to do the Bond part in the beginning, and they had to kind of coax you into it. I mean, why would you not want to do James Bond? I mean, it seems like a dream job for any male actor. He's writing again.
Yeah.
He's thought that he could never live up to what Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan did. So, he didn't want to be compared to them. So he's saying, so that's why he didn't want to do it. But then later on, he realized the money was so good or something. I think I see big dollar signs on that piece of paper.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you don't mind, what kind of dollars are we talking about?
He says, none of your business.
Oh.
But seven figures.
Oh, seven figures. What is that? That's $100,000? That's
really? That's a million. That's like $1 million. More.
Oh.
Could be up to 9 million, seven figures.
Oh, right. 100,000, six figures. Oh, okay. So, now it says here that your father, this is true, this is in your sheet, your father went to same school as John Lennon in Liverpool.
Oh.
So
did you have a Liverpoolian accent?
Yeah, what's your
Good as mine, like you live there.
Yeah, can you?
John, did you know George?
Yeah, was your father asked to be in the Beatles by any chance? Was he?
Did you
No.
have a Hard Day's Night?
Yeah. Now that should have been a Bond name of a Bond movie.
Right, exactly. Really.
Hard Day's Night. I'm like, gee.
Jeez, you're really.
Or was Ian Fleming?
Good work, Miggs.
He was out to lunch when he wrote that one. He's not laughing, but so how about it says here also you refused to dye your hair black. They wanted you to dye your hair black, and why? They're offering you millions of dollars. You wouldn't do that? I mean, how hard is that?
He's saying, he's right. He just said, my skin is so pale that it'd be too stark with the black hair.
Oh.
It didn't make me look. It looked like I was as a dye. He's saying dye job. He's writing in capital letters.
Did they offer to fix your teeth? Sorry.
And and I'll just throw in a nose job as well. You got that kind of like, it's like a little potato right there. He's not very happy with that. He's not answering. Looks like, okay, we're just joking around here.
American humor,
Just
who was your
having a wee little laugh, right?
So, I'd like to know really who was his favorite Moneypenny?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Did you have any off the set dalliances? Yeah, with Moneypenny.
Or anyone else?
Did you get into her knickers, as they say in England, I think?
Her britches. Did you put your wee little wee? No, I'm sorry. Anyhow.
Yeah. I mean,
you pick your own clothing when you go on.
Yeah, the
set.
wardrobe. That's a good question.
Yeah,
the wardrobe.
Do they make you shop for your own clothes, like the James Bond look, or do you have a person who dresses you? And how does that work for you? Just go into like any old clothing haberdashery? Is that a hat store?
Yeah.
You go into like a haberdashery and buy a bowler,
a bonnet, a bowler,
bonnet. Yeah, and then you buy some pants and a jacket,
and do they have
a shirt? Is there Bond underwear? Is it like really sexy? Tell me more about it, especially the bottom part.
Yeah, don't they have to measure? I mean, this is also a rumor, but I don't think you denied that. Bond was well endowed and. You're a little more than a 007. Is that true? I mean, when they measure you, don't your pants have to kind of?
He's agreeing with us. Yeah, he's
okay. What if you had your choice? What Bond would you be?
Me, I would be number 11.
A double.
Oh, you're asking him.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. He's 009. Okay, that's it's nothing to sneeze at.
No.
Just sneeze on.
I would take any of the lower numbers, 03, if that was available on eBay. Used. You have what other questions do we have for?
He's writing a long answer. I know.
For Mr. Craig, I know. Sure. Do you want to put on mute and talk while he's writing that answer? It's quite long. We didn't ask him a question, so maybe he's making a statement.
Yeah.
There's a mute.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, well, it wasn't. I mean, honestly, when he came on, I mean, he's muted, right? I mean, he can't hear us. Yeah. I mean, he was announced as the Bond thing. I mean, that was such a big. I realize it's made money, but it's
why
just
him,
Yeah, this blonde kind
of rough-looking guy.
Yeah, and kind of. He didn't have the style. I don't know. He's just.
It looks like they would, he'd come to your house to do some pipe fixing.
Yeah.
His eyes look really watery. They look like they're floating on the top of in his eye sockets. I wonder if he drinks like.
Oh yeah.
Like some actors do. Maybe the stress of having to live up to that, to the Bond and all the fans that come up to him. Maybe he's always drunk. I know Dana Andrews was when he did movies.
Who?
Dana Andrews.
Dana Andrews. Yeah.
A few people out there probably know.
There's a reference. Yeah. Okay. He's holding up. Everybody moans.
His handwriting, it's like scribbling of a crazy man. Oh, is that on? Sorry. Miggs, did you on mute? Sorry.
Oh, God.
I was talking about Miggs's handwriting.
Yeah. So he's saying everybody, you can barely make this out. Everybody always moans, where's Bond gone? Where's all the jokes? Well, give us time. I always had a master plan in the back of my head that with the third movie, if I ever got there, it would be time to take the gloves off and bring the gags back in.
Gags?
I mean,
what do you think you're like? Who's the guy who did 33 and a half?
Or Mr. Bean? I mean, is he?
Yeah, Mr. Bean. You're trying to compete with Mr. Bean? I don't know.
Yeah, that's not really what it's all about.
Or Benny Hill, who died alone in his apartment.
Yeah, you're gonna check. Oh, did he really? Yo. Yeah, I can't see the Bond film opening with that gun barrel and then.
Yeah.
women running around in fast motion, Benny Hill,
slapping their butts, it's like
Bond chasing them with a,
feather duster. Come back, you're dusty. So what few people don't realize, Mr. Craig, that at one point you were a mime. I mean, people can Google this if they want. Google image Daniel Craig as mime, and you'll see a picture of Daniel Craig, you believe it or not, as a mime.
That's true.
Yeah.
I did. When you told me, I really didn't believe it, and I Googled it. He's a complete whiteface. Maybe he could do, that's a great leading, because we did interview a mime, and I'm sure he didn't hear it, but is there anything he'd like to act out?
As a mime? Yeah.
Yeah.
You want
to
strut your mime stuff for us.
Yeah.
He's put down the paper. He's doing something.
He's putting his.
You understand what he's doing?
Well, he's making his hands like a gun. He's putting his own gun to his head.
He wants to kill himself.
Wants to kill himself, and his career is over.
Is that like a comment on our show, or what?
Yeah, is that like think your career's ended here?
Now he's like doing the hangman's noose business. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Good job. It's just, I get it. The first one was like killing yourself, and the second one is that you're a man being hung. I get it. Okay.
And now he's drinking something, and then he's like eyes closed, and he's slumped down.
Oh, it must be poison.
Poison. So he's poisoned himself. He's hung himself. He shot himself.
Okay.
And now he's on our podcast. So that's that's your death.
Bullet to his career. Yeah. Anyhow, I have a question for Mr. Craig. What do you think of Adam Sandler? I mean, I know that he's not like I know he's not in your genre of film, but he is the most watched person on Netflix. Have you ever? Well, who's your favorite comedian? He's shaking his head. He doesn't like Adam Sandler. Who would be your? So, who was your favorite comedian? You want to do gags in your next Bond film? You must have some comedian that you look up to, that you want to emulate. He's scribbling something, Miggs.
He said, I don't know if he's hearing us. He said, I once got into an altercation with a man after the man pinched my girlfriend's rear end. What is that?
What does that
got to do with anything? Okay.
Maybe that's a joke.
You may. He's
supposed to laugh at that.
Inserting the gags.
He laugh. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, funny.
Gee.
So he was married a couple of times.
Now he's married to actress Rachel Weisz or Weitz.
Yeah, they got divorced.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought so. I thought that's what I saw. You put him on mute again.
Okay.
I saw him in that movie Knives Out.
Yeah.
He played a detective or like
with a fake Southern accent.
Horrible Southern accent. He was trying to do the old cliche of like the Southern guy with the suspenders, like, the wise detective who sees the clues behind every little thing, and so he's doing such a hacked, hack job. They should have let him just be British,
Yeah, you wonder if at that point in their career that everyone's afraid to say no. I mean, he's earned the movie companies billions of dollars, and it's like whatever he wants to do, and he's trying to break out and do. But yeah, it was really he's coming back. You know what? We forgot to mention how much we loved your performance in Knives Out.
Yes, it was awesome.
How long did it take you to?
Did you have to go to a dialect coach?
Yeah,
because it was like so spot on. You really nailed it, man.
Yeah, that was quite a. What do they? Not a. A change. It was typecasting. When you
right. They went against type, and he's saying
went against type.
He didn't go to a dialect coach. He wrote. Let's see the note. He just wrote. Put up.
Oh.
Whatever. It was incredible.
Yeah, you're just a natural.
I can't say enough.
Yeah, he said, you have said enough. He's a big fan of Radiohead. I don't.
So I read another thing about you that about like when you go to a bar, there's always someone who thinks they're being real original. They say, give that man a martini, shaken, not stirred, like they're supposed to like think that's hilarious. And evidently that happens to you all the time. And, some loser in a bar thinks he's going to like befriend you. He's going to end up like going home with you and you're going to like play checkers with him or something. And, like fly kites the next day at the beach in your sandals. And it's just like, you probably have to smile, fake those smiles. Cause you can't, you're probably not one of those mean celebrities that just says like F off. You're shaking his head feverishly right now. In the up and down direction, which means yes.
Oh, I'm trying to read the quote, find the quote.
He's in agreement.
Did he what? Did he doesn't go home with these.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd put me on the right track.
He's being a good sport. He's just sort of letting us, maybe he's got nothing else to do. I don't know. We're back on. No, I wanted to read there was an interesting quote about the martini thing here. First I'll never.
Haven't we covered that extensively already?
You talk to people in the movie business who have been doing this for 40 years, and they all say the difference is that back in the day, you could go and have a drink in a bar, get drunk, fall over, have a good time, relax, whatever, and no one would know about it. But now everyone's got a camera. Not that all I want to do is get drunk in a bar, but that's an example. So you can't live a normal life anymore because it'll become public knowledge that you've gotten drunk in a bar. He's mentioned that 3 times, or skinny dipped on a beach.
But that's good publicity, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's negative, people will just go, isn't it? I'm going to ask him. Isn't that just good publicity? I mean, someone saw you drunk or naked, unless you have something to hide down there. Why do you care what people see? It's just like more talk about you and your name, and you're creating a whole like mythology around yourself.
Yeah, it's
more people buy tickets next time they go to a Bond film to see the drunken like naked man. Yeah,
it's a press agent's dream.
Yeah, he just like looks like he's scribbling something, but I'm not sure what it is. Is that a doodle you're making there? What's that? I don't understand. It's like lines. It's a stick figure. It's doing.
He's drinking.
It looks like it's something like wrong there. He's doing something. Okay, forget it. I can't talk about it now.
Oh, that's not for public.
Not for public consumption.
But he's drawing.
This is a family show, mister.
Yeah, not that the Bond movies. Actually, scribbling the word Heineken. Oh, this is interesting. This is product play. He's doing, even in a podcast, he's doing product placement.
Yeah, he's doing a drawing of a bottle, and I see he's writing the Heineken label, Heineken, and he's pretending to drink the paper.
Yeah, and it says, and here's something, this is a quote, Heineken gave us a ton of money for there to be a Heineken in a shot in a bar. So how easy is that? Just to say, okay, there's Heineken. It's there. It's in the back of the shot. Without them, the movie couldn't get sold. So that all kind of got blown up. Bond's new drink is Heineken. He likes a lot of drinks. Heineken, champagne, it's all in there. I'll drink a beer in the shot. I'm happy to do it. But I'm not going to do a pantomiming an actor looking refreshed. He does pantomime.
Yeah.
So let's see
you refreshed. I want to see you do refreshed.
Yeah, do an actor looking refreshed.
Yeah, okay, sort of. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So he's also here. He's doing product placement on our podcast. Okay, Heineken. He obviously likes Heineken because they're not paying for our podcast. But
now it looks like he's miming some like a ventriloquist dummy talking on his lap. I don't know where he's going with that. I would stick to just acting, Mr. Craig.
Yeah, that's
the world doesn't need to see another like bad mime.
Well, he's been in other movies. Well, we mentioned that he didn't.
He was in a bunch of TV shows, a bunch of British.
Yeah.
The black. We just talked about Knives Up, but he was on a bunch of TV shows. He did Raiders of the Lost Ark series. He played a part in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on like one of the.
Oh, yeah. They said he has an what do you call it? Uncredited part in a Star. In one of the Star Trek.
He also played a part in the movie Road to Perdition with Tom Hanks and Paul Newman.
Oh.
Yeah, and he played a mobster, Connor Rooney. So, Mr. Craig, did you get to meet Tom Hanks? What was he like working with Tom Hanks? Is he nice, like everyone says he is? Is he really a nice guy? Was he a nice guy? Did you like to hang out with you? Did you talk with him? Was he like really friendly, really like low key? Soft spoken? Was he like the kind of guy you just want to have like a beer with? I guess a Heineken in your case.
What's he writing? Son of a bitch. What?
Shut your pie hole.
He's called. I think Hanks is a son of a bitch.
Oh,
geez.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, that's not the common perception. He must have gotten into some sort of Hollywood squabble. Well, he's supposedly getting his next movie. Well, because of the pandemic, it hasn't come out yet, or maybe it's not finished. But $25 million for his next movie.
Wow. What is it? What's the title of your next movie, Mr. Craig?
Hard Day's Night.
Hard Day's Night. The sequel. Starring you and some Liverpool Pudloons.
Starring Paul.
He acted with Nicole Kidman in the movie Invasion. She's some hot, tall drink of water, isn't she, Mr. Craig?
That's a product placement for water. We do our own product placements. It's our turn. Well, actually, we're just about out of time. So we want to thank Daniel Craig. You have any last?
Thank you, Mr. Craig. Thank you for being on our show. It was
and thanks for not
so. We were really looking forward to it. Both of us were.
Yeah, and thanks for not, writing in a Southern accent. But no, it's a great pleasure, and you're a big star, and you've let us know it. So,
bye.
Okay.
He's waving. I can see he's waving. He has really short, stubby fingers.
Yeah. Okay. He's gone. He just signed off. We have like a minute to. We want to chit chat about him, but
my God.
Gee, what a bore. Gee, I mean, he stayed on. I was surprised he stayed on. He must be really lonely. He probably should have been
preoccupied with how he's going to spend all that money he makes.
Yeah, but I didn't know he got divorced from Rachel Weisz.
That's what I saw. Yeah,
she's a terrible actress too. She was in The Mummy. Wasn't she in The Mummy? The first Mummy movie with.
I like her.
Yeah, no, she's very pretty. I don't think she didn't seem to act her way out of a sarcophagus, okay. But okay. She was pretty.
Yeah, she doesn't do a lot of movies. Did she do The Diary of Anne Frank? Somehow I see her in that role.
Yeah, I think that's the one that was updated to. They contemporized it, so everyone was wearing black turtlenecks, and it took place in a
black box theater in Soho.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll say I'm going to stop the sign off on the podcast. Thank you all for listening.